Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us for our third offering of the day. Yes, you heard me right. Third show of the day. We were here early this morning at 10 o'clock. Where were you? Where were you? We were here. Where were you? We're doing it each and every day, 10 o'clock, brand new show for you. And then the usual shows at 12, at 2 and at 5. We have shuffled Monday Makers into the 2 o'clock slot today. Lily's back with you later on with a Craft Your Stash show. So plenty to get your crafty teeth into. Lots over on the website as well. Just to remind you, you've got your tariff-free section over on the US site. So if you are still wanting to shop with us, we've put it under one handy little banner for you. It's on the homepage, so you can click on that. And also just have my little email through. I don't know if you have as well, but 15% off our recent launches as well, which you'll find more details about on the website. Monday Makers, loads coming up in this show. If you like a bit of colouring, this is the show for you. If you like your creator card dies, this is the show for you. If you love making flowers, this is the show for you. And as always, we encourage the comments coming through and the questions as well. It's not just me for the next couple of hours. I'm here with my crafty partner in crime today, the wonderful Lilly Fletcher. And you've got lots to show us in this show, haven't you?
We certainly do. We have tons coming up throughout the course of this show here. Monday Makers, feeling a little bit off kilter still today because Monday Makers is usually the last show of the day, but for me it's the second to last show of the day. But never mind, we're here. We've got a fantastic show coming up for you guys at home. We're going to be focusing first of all on those lovely flower punches. Look at that gorgeous card here. Creating your bouquets, your posies using those beautiful flower punches. Beautiful. How about creating your concept style cards? So by having this on the side of an aperture, it looks absolutely stunning, all created using those amazing flower punches. We'll also be having a little look at some of my favourite dies. I absolutely love these. Are amazing Patchwork Create card dies for creating cards just like that. How about bringing in some of the other items you've already got in your crafty stash, like your Pets Rule collection? They work perfectly alongside those. How about bringing in, I believe this might be a Bethlehem collection that we brought to you a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super popular to create those lovely star style cards. And then finally, you guys at home know I absolutely love a shaker, so I'd show you that lovely design using, once again, those Patchwork Create cards. Lots coming up. We're going to hopefully get Ben involved with a little bit of colouring too. I know that Ben loves to craft along. He's spied up one of those kits, so I thought, you know what, not only will I colour, but Ben will be colouring as well.
Well, I think if you're going to have a bit of bit of time when you just colouring, it normally goes quite sort of, relaxed, doesn't it? So I thought I'll relax along with you. Got a nice comfy chair over there, which I might pull up.
Oh!
Get the pens out. Have you got your stool over there, or has that been moved?
Have I got a stool? Are you still there?
Oh, we could sit down and colour for an hour, couldn't we?
Yeah. Sounds good.
I've also just noticed today, if you fancy in the comments, I don't know if I can find a prize, it's National Limerick Day today.
Oh!
So if you're feeling, quite creative, what about coming up with a limerick for Crafters TV? You can send those in. Usual channels will read them out. You know limericks. Go on.
Oh, I do like a good limerick. Please, I hope there's some creative people at home. I would love to hear your limericks. I'm rubbish at them. So no contribution from me. I am, yeah. Do apologise.
I'll try and do one as we go as well.
You're good at that sort of thing.
Yeah, whilst we're colouring, we'll write some limericks as well. Send yours in. Come on, let's make it a nice, fun show. Radical Rachel on the socials this afternoon. Trudy Bickham saying hi, everyone. Hello. Julie Palmer says bonjour. You're obviously still in Saint-Tropez, I guess.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Salut, ça va? It's about my extent of French, but...
Vous parlez un petit peu de français, oui, n'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Oui.
Aujourd'hui.
Oui. Il fait beau aujourd'hui.
Oh!
N'est-ce pas?
Oh.
Hello,
as I say, that is my limit of French. If it's Spanish, I'll be all right, but French... Ça va comme ci, comme ça.
Oh, comme ci, comme ça. Oui.
That's it. We've exhausted our French vocabulary here, I suppose.
Je peux parler beaucoup en français.
Oh.
Oui.
I'm impressed.
So you speak Spanish quite well?
Better than French, that's for certain.
I once...
Oh, here we go.
I don't know if you know.
Going?
I don't know if you know. I used to work in radio. I don't know if I've ever said. Yeah.
Okay.
And we did this. It was a challenge basically to see if we could get from where we broadcasted in Aylesbury to our twin town in France in an electric car.
Okay.
We did it, and we did this whole thing with the twin town in Bourg-en-Bresse.
Yeah.
And we were doing this thing with their local radio station as well. So we were like doing chats with them, and I was doing all the interviews with them in French.
In French?
And then got to the town hall in Bourg-en-Bresse where we were met by all the dignitaries. And I got up and spoke in front of about 50 people and did all my thanks and stuff in French.
Oh my God, that's a proper achievement. That I am impressed.
I don't know if they understood what I was saying, but I spoke in French. Yeah.
Wow.
Très bon. Fromage et jambon.
Ooh.
Em says, good morning, everyone. It's going to be a rainy day in California. Oh, you should come over here. It's nice. It's nice and sunny today. Perfect for crafting, though, and a cup of tea. Rosalind says, hello from Maryland. Lois says, good morning, everyone from Ohio. And Carol says, good morning, everyone. And also hello to Paul Prince ×4. He says, hello from a rainy, dreary South Carolina. Sounds like it's rainy and dreary where it normally is sunny, and we've got the sunshine today.
I know, it's quite surprising. The sun has well and truly come out. It's looking nice out there.
Yes. Get the limericks in then. Come on, you crafty, creative lot. Get
in any language, in French, in Spanish, in German. We'll do our best to read them out. But yeah, multi-language limericks, please.
You'll do the
French ones. You can do the German. I'll do Spanish, maybe a bit of Italian, possibly the odd word.
If we, I know we've got quite a big Dutch contingent watchers on the show as well. So if you want to write us a limerick in Dutch,
I've got no hope, no hope. You may be with the German.
Yeah, maybe.
But me, no hope of Dutch, I'm afraid. No hope.
But I think that would be even funnier though, wouldn't it? Us trying to read out limericks in other languages.
It would be quite entertaining. Yes.
I apologise now. I apologise now. Em says, what? Ben works in radio? That's news. Laughing face. Yeah, no.
He doesn't mention it often, just every now and again, just brings it in.
And we've got our first limerick from Rachel. Yeah, this is from our Rachel. There once was a man called Ben, best presenter amongst all men. Sometimes he'll craft, he's usually daft, but that's why we love him. You ken. You ken?
Ooh.
You know?
You can?
You ken? Not heard that. It's like a northern thing, isn't it? Scottish, isn't it? You ken? You ken what I mean?
Oh, no, that's new to me, but yes. Don't tell George or Craig.
What?
The best presenter. Don't tell them.
Ah, well.
Hopefully they're not watching.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Built that title up over...
Presentation lead.
30 years in the business. Still going strongish.
Still going, full stop.
Yeah, another 5 years I'll be retired, hopefully. The Flower Paper Punch collection, 7-piece set. Let me show you what you're going to get as far as the boards are concerned here. I was saying to Lily beforehand, we do so many different ways for you now to be able to create flowers, and this is just another kind of sort of crafty feather in your hat, if you like, really, if it's flowers that you love to make, because you've got a whole host of different punches to be able to punch out the petals, to create all the different flowers. You can get the 5x7 paper pad in a different bundle. However, I am pretty sure that you've got a lot of papers in your stash, whether they are coloured papers that you're going to be working with or different papers from different collections. All you'll do is use the different punches to create the different petals. So this one is 1.5-inch petal punch, creating you this design here, which again, you multi-punch, layer up on top, and then you can create a beautiful flower. This one is your 1-inch circle punch. So once again, this is what you're going to be punching and creating. A little bit of manipulation using things like your tools just to create a bit more flow in the petals. Again, you can create beautiful flowers like that. Then you're going to get your oval punch, so slightly different shape to the one that I saw you first off, 1-inch oval punch. Again, layer these up to create the beautiful florals. You've got your 1-inch scallop circle punch. So again, kind of creates a bit more of like a carnations feel, I think, that one particularly. Then you've got your 1-inch petal punch, so slightly smaller than the first one that we had. And then you've got your 2 little teeny weeny ones. So this is a 3/8 of an inch daisy punch, although you could use that, as you've seen on that one, as a stamen for the middle of your flower. And then last but by no means least, you have got your 1/4 of an inch circle punch too. So you get the 7 punches in total there. Was almost £42, 56.65. Platinum price on that today, £28 or $40. Julie says it's thundering here today in Saint-Tropez and it's my birthday. So out for a meal tonight. Well, happy birthday, Julie. Hopefully the weather takes a turn for the better. And good morning, Ben and Lily from New York, says Sweet Lady 1027 on YouTube. Good morning to you. Right, let's get going then. Let's have a look at these paper punches. You've got some finished samples there as well.
Absolutely. I thought, we'll start off with some of these finished samples because they are absolutely stunning. It just gives you a little soupçon of the ideas and the different sorts of flowers that you can be creating using these amazing punches. Now, for me, I'd say personally this collection is more about your fancy flowers, less so about creating those really hyper-realistic flowers. But of course, if you are a keen gardener, if you're sort of up on all your sorts of flowers, and you know all those different shapes and sizes and colours of flowers, then there's nothing stopping you trying to recreate those in flower punch form. So looking at this beautiful card here, you've got the punches that create the flowers themselves, and those innards are what we have used with those fantastic fringe paper scissors, which I will be showing you how to use in just a few moments' time. So that looks absolutely stunning onto your cards. How about bringing in those lovely, really bright colours?
Wow.
You can punch your leaves, of course, as well, using those fantastic punches, not just for your petals, but for your leaves as well. Showing different aspects of the flowers as well. You can see at the top there, we've done almost like a profile, side profile of those flowers, and they look stunning. And then finally, I mean, this is a showstopper and a half. This is absolutely outstanding. Even better if I get it the right way up as well. But there you go, absolutely amazing. I mean, your diorama cards, they look incredible with all those flowers. Really do pack a punch. They look amazing. So that's just a few ideas of the sorts of things that you can create using these fantastic flower punches. I'm going to start off by actually showing you how to use those fringe scissors, just in case you've never seen them before, just to show you how fantastic and easy to use those are. But then I'm going to carry on by I'm not going to create a finished card per se, we're going to create a style of flower just to show you the sorts of flowers you can create using your punches. Yeah. So I'm going to start off with our fantastic fringe paper scissors. Now, they look a little bit terrifying to sort of look at them. They look like you've stuck three, four pairs of scissors together, but they are an absolutely ingenious little piece of kit. So I've got a piece of our paper from that paper pad, and all you're going to do, just like you would with a normal pair of scissors, you'd cut just like so. You're going to do exactly the same, but that's going to give you that lovely multiple cut where you've got all those lines cut in one fell swoop. So what that allows you to do is it allows you to create those fringed effects. So all you're going to do is you're just going to cut along that length of paper, trying to stop at about the same sort of area there. So you're stopping at about the same point across this whole width of the card, and that's going to give you that lovely fringed effect. Now you can use that as a decorative effect on its own, or what you can be doing with that, if we cut the bottom section of this piece of paper away, we can actually do our quilling sort of technique. So all you need to do with that is you can use your quilling tools if you got those, or if not, you can literally just use your hands and you can just roll this around. It creates those lovely sorts of frilly kinds of flowers. Now if you cut that down a little bit shorter, so you've got a bit less fringing onto your paper, you can use these as lovely centres for your flowers as well. So you're just going to roll that round, you're going to glue that together, and then you can splay those petals or those sort of prongs, if you like, back. That's going to give you those lovely sort of fluffy flowers or great centres for your flowers. So that's how you use your fringe scissors. But I'm going to do something a little bit different for this demo. So we're going to take our 1.5 inch petal punch, which is a really nice, large, weighty size punch with this one. And we're just going to take that same lovely purple paper that we've got here, and we're just going to punch through. So it's up to you whether you want to punch sort of this way around or that way around. You will get the best pressure if you're going to be punching that way around using the heel of your hand on a flat surface. You'll always get the best and most pressure onto your punch. But perhaps if you're using little scraps of cardstock like we're doing here, or if you want to be a little bit more precise in terms of where you're punching, then punching this way up is going to allow you to get a little bit more precision.
Can you ask Trudy use these punches to make the flowers with foam? Will these punch through foam or not?
I'm not sure they would. I don't know if we've got any foam around.
Maybe we can get some. We can try some in a minute, maybe.
Try some. If we can find, I'm not sure they will. They're being designed more for paper, but if we can find some, we'll try it. Of course, we will.
Jake will get us some.
Come on, Jake. Come on. Is he being summoned?
He's off.
He's on his way.
He's on his way.
There you go.
We'll try.
While we're doing that, we'll just continue punching these. And for this sort of flower, you just want to make sure you're punching plenty of these petals. At the end of the day, if you don't use them for this particular flower, I'm sure you'll have plenty of use for them at a later date in your crafting. So it's just a case of going around and punching plenty of petals out. Now, if you do find over time, after a little bit of wear and tear, that your punches are not quite as sharp as they used to be, all you need to do is just grab a piece of aluminium foil and just punch through that. Very much like we do to sharpen our guillotines, you're just going to get a piece of foil and you're going to punch through that a few times. That will help to resharpen those blades, and they'll be pretty much as good as new by doing that. So we've got plenty of petals now. I think we should be okay. We can always punch a few more later if we need to. But all we'll do is we'll start off by creating this centre of our flower here. So we start by rolling round this centre petal. So we're just going to take our pokey tool and just tease that round. Now, with it being paper, it means it's a lot easier to shape. You've got a lot less chance of actually ripping or sort of creasing that cardstock by it being paper. Oh, foam's coming, thank you. So
have a look, see if we can punch the foam.
We'll say, do you know what we'll do? Because we want to have sort of the most pressure possible, we'll punch downwards rather than upwards. So, well, I don't know if it's even going to fit through here, you know. Might be a bit thick. Ooh. I'm not sure, it might be a little bit too thick. We tried.
No is the answer.
A little bit too thick, so it can't be too thick to even fit into the punch. So unfortunately, no, but worth a try, definitely. Right, back to our centre, which is over here. So we just grab our poker tool and we're just going to start to roll that round. So it's going to start to take shape in that centre point. Then what we'll do is we'll pinch it in half, just pinching along that bottom section there. And then we're going to start to roll it round. Now for the centre, with it being quite a small piece, I tend to use my tacky glue, whereas when I start to build the rest of that flower around, I tend to go for my hot glue gun. But for the centre, we'll go with a little bit of tacky glue. And then because I'm sort of handling it quite closely, then you're going to make sure you're not going to burn your fingers by using your tacky glue. You may get gluey fingers, but it's definitely a lot better than burning your fingers, that's for certain. So we're just going to start to roll that round, which is going to create the centre of that petal, the centre almost like of your rosebud, if you like, just by bending that round. Of course, with using your tacky glue, it's going to take a little bit longer to sort of set and grab. So we're just going to give that a few moments to grab. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm hearing news update that we're getting some limericks through.
Yeah, I've got a few. Mr. Stow says, there was a young man called Ben who was given a magic pen.
Ooh.
He used it here and there and lowered prices everywhere until Sarah came and stopped him there and then.
That is brilliant.
Good,
love that. That's a good one. I love the fact that all these seem to be about you. You're the only subject of our limericks.
I'll write you one, Lily. There's one about Sarah, actually.
Okay, that's all right, as long as it's not just you.
Yeah, come on, it's not all about me, guys. God.
Clearly it is.
It's not just all about me, is it? There once was a lady called Sarah whose hobby would take her much farther. She started a firm which took an upturn, so now she wears a crafty tiara.
Like that. Who's written that for us?
Alison Mason.
Alison, that's good. We like that. That's good. Any more for any more?
There's a poem from Cindy as opposed to a limerick, but it's very nice still. She says, Ben and Lily came today to shower us with fun in a crafty way. We learn, we laugh, we long to stay, but alas, real life does pull us away.
Oh, that's nice. Nice that I'm included in one at least. Only one.
Well, do you know what? Yes, exactly right. Rachel says the problem is Lily is the things that rhyme with Lily.
Silly.
I'm going to write you one anyway, so I'm going to do that in just a second. I've forgotten where we are now. Are you still...
Quite frankly, Ben, I've also forgotten where we are. Right,
what are we doing now?
We've just created the centre of our rose here, so it's time to start building out from the centre. So we're going to take another petal here, and all we'll do is we'll just pinch it. So we're going to fold it in half and just pinch along the bottom there. Then all we're going to start to do is we're going to start to build out our flower from the centre outwards. So we'll grab our hot glue gun, which I've had heating up, so it's nice and warm now. We'll take our hot glue gun, we'll pop a little globule. Yep. My favourite words, I love the word globule.
Globule.
Globule, oh, lovely word. Along the bottom of our petal there. And then we're going to stick that centre, just taking care of our fingers, just stick that centre onto the bottom there, and then just start to wrap that petal around that first one. And it's starting to fill out a little bit more. We'll do the same with another petal, so we'll take another petal, we'll fold it in half, we'll pinch it along the base there, we'll grab our hot glue gun and we'll place a little bit of that globule at the bottom there of our hot glue, not adding it all the way up that petal there, just so it's connected just at the base of that petal, and we'll just slide that flower there into the centre, and then we'll just start to wrap that petal round to start to fill out that bud. And it's a process of just building this up. With it being individual petals with these punches, it's not a super quick way of making flowers, but it's a lovely sort of mindful way of building these flowers, taking all those individual petals and just starting to see that process really come to life. So just repeating that as we go along. So just taking our petal and basically adding it to the opposite side of the one previous. So if we've added one on the left hand side at that layer below, then we'll go in with the right hand side and so on and so forth, just to start to build this flower together. So we're just going to grab our petals and continue to build.
Lois says, oh, there's another poem.
Oh, blimey.
Ben, the presenter lead, works so well with his TV wifey Debbie, and laughs with the fish, always up to such fun with the hottie Scotty. Lily is so creative. That is my limerick, says Lois. Well, thank you, Lois.
Oh.
At least you got a mention in that one.
Yeah, do you know what? When it first started, Lois, I thought, blooming heck, this is going to be about Debbie, this. I thought, I'm not happy with this. But it turned out all right in the end, so thank goodness for that.
Excellent. Yeah, keep those coming in. Apparently it's National Limerick Day, which makes me think it must be a year, or was it 2 years since we did a wake-up call with that, didn't we? And I brought my ukulele in, and we sang them all. And Amelia, look at my memory now, Amelia Sirocco was one, because she then mentions it in her little craftimonial that she does that we show on the channel.
I don't remember that at all, you know.
It was me and, I can't remember who was on that show.
Well,
Maybe it's 2 years ago. I don't know. It all melded into one here.
I don't know.
Honestly.
I don't ever remember a ukulele being in the building.
Yeah, I brought that in for that show. It's another thing I do to a very average standard.
Well, it's better than I do, because I don't do it to any standards, so...
What, ukulele playing?
Yeah. I mean, I've never tried, so I might be at a whiz. I've just never known. Who knows?
You play an instrument?
I used to play the guitar.
Ah, that was it.
Yeah, many
Classical
years
or
ago.
electric?
Both.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both.
To a good standard, or?
Oof, that wasn't wonderful, but I was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's many, many years since I've done that.
We could definitely, I know we keep saying it, we've never done it yet, we could definitely get a band together
Oh, gosh,
here.
yeah.
With the talent we've got.
Yeah.
Get you on the guitar with producer Johnny on the trumpet.
Oh, that's true.
Get Debbie on her French horn or whatever she plays.
Does she do which Debbie does the French horn?
Debbie Robinson. I think it's actually, I don't think it is the French horn. I want to say it's a cornet.
The cornetto?
Yeah, cornetto. We could get Keith from Paper Dynamics, he's a drummer.
Oh, blimey, yeah, he is, isn't he? He'd drown the rest of us out. We wouldn't hear anything apart from Keith slamming about.
Yeah, he wouldn't need the drum kit, would he?
He wouldn't.
Just, like,
He's got his
down
hands.
on the desk.
Who else have we got? I'm sure we've got more musical people.
Well, I play keyboards.
Keyboard.
And a bit of violin, bit guitar.
Bit of violin?
Yeah, I got to grade 8 violin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I always used to want to play the violin. I used to think it looked really fun.
I always wanted to play the saxophone, and like my mum maybe learned every single other instrument.
Apart from the saxophone.
I just wanted to learn the saxophone.
It's a cool instrument, I'll give you that.
It's only because I could play the Pink Panther theme tune. That was the reason. Yeah, who else plays instruments?
I'm sure there's more amongst us, but I can't think of any now.
Cray plays the triangle, I think.
The triangle. Oh, he's a pro at the triangle.
Yeah.
What about the recorder?
Everyone played the recorder, didn't they?
Didn't they?
Everyone of a certain age plays the recorder.
Yes.
Because you used to have like lunchtime lessons. Bizarrely, like we'd have recorder lessons, wouldn't you?
Well, I remember bizarrely when I was quite young, it was the head teacher that taught recorder club.
That's so funny.
Would have thought there are better things to do than teach young children to play the recorder, but clearly not.
I wonder why then back in the, well, it was the 80s for me, they thought it necessary for all children to have to learn to play the recorder.
I know. I mean, I can't say it's a skill that I've ever made use of in later life.
Three Blind Mice was the one, wasn't it? That we used to teach.
There was one that we used to do. I've a dog, his name is Rover. Something, he's good all over. It was, yeah, I used to have the book. It was, I've a dog, his name is Rover. He's good all over. He's just the best.
Oh.
Anyone else remember that?
On the
was it just our
recorder?
school? On the recorder, yeah. I've a dog, his name is Rover. Whatever happened to Rover?
Exactly
Well,
right.
I'd like to know.
What happened to Rover and what happened to everyone learning to play recorders in lunch?
Yeah, because obviously I went to school in the noughties and we were still doing it then, so there you go. Recorders, the way forward. Anybody who's got young children at the moment, can you let us know, do children still play recorders? Or the vital life skills?
That's it. And look how we all turned out.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe that was the start of your musical prowess, learning the recorder.
Well, maybe that's what it was.
Springboard for the violin and keyboard and whatever else.
And guitar.
Yeah. There you go.
Must say hi to Emma, who's with us. Hi to Lois.
Hello.
I think I've said that to everyone actually. Trudy's with us. Any more limericks, get them in. Any more questions or comments as well, feel free to fire those
let us know.
our way. We've got colouring still to come in the show, and
Patchwork and Inkpads.
Patchwork Create a card, haven't we, as well?
Got all sorts, so I'm going to have to stop faffing about this flower here, but I have to say I'm quite enjoying. You can see how it's starting to come to shape now. Now, it does take a little bit of time. It is that process of building it, so you're building it from the inside outwards. What you can do when you're starting off, if you find it easier in terms of creating that centre, what you can do is you can start off with a piece of wire and actually wrap that centre piece around a piece of wire rather than sort of freehand as we did. And what we're doing with the centre petals, we've shaped the centre petal inwards, and then as we go outwards, we're starting to bend them outwards and shaping those petals outwards just to give us a little bit more dimension and sort of fullness to that flower. If you wanted to keep it as a bud, just sort of stop around that sort of section, and that will give you a nice little bud to use on your creations. But if you carry on sort of building that, I have to say mine got ever so slightly crushed when I was carrying it in this morning with all my other prep, but it is It's looking quite pretty there, just using the flower punches. That is literally just one punch to create a flower like that. And if you start to build those together, you can start to build your little clusters, your little bouquets, which will give you a nice finished result, all by just using the one punch.
There you go, 7-piece collection there for £28, £40. If you want the fringe scissors that Lily was using, and also the paper, the 5x7 paper, that is also included in another bundle on the Shop the Show, so you can pick that one up. It is the accessories kit, is the one that you're looking for. Right, we are going to have a look at the Monday mega deals. First of all, gilding flakes. These Monday mega deals, 24 hours only. Get them whilst you can. I mean, absolutely incredible. Buy one, get two free on the luxury gilding flakes. There's your price on screen, $11.99, which is an insane price, really, if you're a platinum member, or $13.56 if you're in the US. Obviously, just check your tariffs on that. However, within this set, you will get your cosmic, you will get your blush, you will get your patina. In your patina, you've got Sunglow, Rich Copper, Verdigris. You've also got in the blush, Rose Gold, Soft Rose, Pretty Pink, and then the cosmic, the Outer Space. That black is absolutely gorgeous. You've got the Blue Moon and Starlight in here. You know, these are luxury for the fact that you have got all of these different colours. We used to probably seeing like golds and silvers when it comes to gilding flakes, but we're bringing you know, pretty pinks, we're bringing you beautiful greens in here like the Verdigris, the Blue Moon, and they're absolutely stunning. What an opportunity to be able to try gilding flakes, or indeed just stock up, because you should be £45 for the set of 9 tubs there, but you're £11.99. But remember, Monday Mega Deals only last for that 24-hour period. Also, same on your metallics and Pearl. Stock up on this. I feel like we brought this back into a few shows recently, because I know a lot of people are aware of the fact that we do Centura Pearl across a whole range of different colours. The metallics we don't see as often on the show, so a great opportunity to pick up 40 sheets of your metallic Centura Pearl for that incredible platinum price of just £8 or $14.40. So we're going to give you 10 sheets in the copper. You've got 10 sheets across in that beautiful bronze, 10 sheets of that pale silver, and then you're getting 10 sheets in that beautiful green gold as well. Again, if you're platinum here, that is pretty much a half price deal. £8 is the price on that, but only for the next 24 hours across those. And then also Aqua Blend pencils. This is a buy. We get 24 free. Buy 2, get 1 free with it in this set. Now, I know if you were watching a little bit earlier on, we did have the portraits in another bundle where you were getting the portraits with the Deborah Buddy Bag. However, if you are a little bit more serious about your watercolouring, maybe you've used the Aqua Blend pencils before and you're wanting to stock up, this is the deal to go for. That's the portrait collection. You're getting 24 of our artist quality watercolour pencils in there. If I just flip that around for you as well, you can see all the different colours that you're going to get. It's nice that we've configured these into colours, so you know you've got different colours in here. But look, if you're wanting to do portraits, if you're looking to do like different skin tones, different hair tones, you've got all of the different kind of colours in there, skin tones, tan blend. You've got the browns for hair in there as well. So you've got a really lovely way to be able to kind of know which tin you're going for, depending on what sort of colouring you're doing. And of course, 24 pencils, but you've got much more than that when you consider that you can bring these to life with your water, draw out the colour, get all the different gradients of the 24 colours that you've got in there, and then mix and match the colours up together to create new colours. So it's like we are kind of asking you to pay for the portraits and say the landscape, and then we're going to give you the third for free within the landscape. As the name suggests there, you can see that sort of array of colours that you're going to be getting. Lots of different greens in there, lots of different beautiful blues and browns. 24 pencils in there once again, and then you've got your essential colours included. So for argument's sake, it's like we are giving these to you for absolutely nothing within that bundled deal. Flip that around again so you can see the different colours that you're going to get within that set. $39.98 is your platinum price on that. $47.98 if you're in the US, but again, obviously subject to tariffs. If you are in the US, I know I keep mentioning this, but it's worth just saying again, that tariff-free page on the website, when you log onto the website, crafterscompanion.com, you'll see it there straight away. There certainly was before the weekend around 200 different items for you to shop for, so do have a little bit of a look. And hopefully we'll have some more news for you soon as far as the things which are going on in the news are concerned at the minute. Doreen, I knew I could rely on you. I got a limerick in Dutch.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful.
Shall I do it first?
Go on. Oh, I can't wait for this.
Right, Doreen, I apologise in advance. I'll do my very, very best here. And we've got a rough Google translation of it as well, but I'll read it in Dutch.
Okay.
I did German, not Dutch, by the way, so don't laugh at me, and I apologise if I offend any Dutch people with my accent here. Ledere dag wil ik naar Ben en Lilly. Kielkendoor al dat kopen behoor. Ik niet meer tot den rijkenwand. Leder keer wordt ik verleid tot kopfen en ben ik verlaat om eten te koken.
Take a bow. Take a bow. There we go. That sounded good to me.
The translation is, every day I want to watch Ben and Lily because of all the buying that I am no longer one of the rich, because every time I am tempted to buy and I am too late to cook dinner again. There you go.
Love it.
Doreen, if you can give me a mark out of 10 there for my pronunciation, if it's more than 3, I'll be very happy with that.
10 for effort, definitely.
10 for effort. Right. Pro colouring art kit. Now, we're going to have a bit of a colour with these. You've got the Celestial Maidens, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
So you're going to do a bit of colouring with those in a second.
Yeah, what have you got? Way of the Samurai?
I've got the Way of the Samurai, which I might have a little bit of a play with. This is a sensational buy because you are getting 3 kits here, but you are only paying for 1 within the bundle. So $23.99 or or $31.99. It's a 65% saving. Doreen just messaged back, lol.
Oh, no marks. That sounds to me very much like a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, 0. Hey, well, at least I tried.
Well, true. More than I did.
In each of the sets, you're getting, 24 pieces really. You're getting all of your colouring pages in both black and grey, and you're getting 5 of your illustrators, 5 of your classiques, and you're getting the art liner marker within this as well. Now, the colours aren't new, as I say. The colours aren't new, but we've configured them to be the best colours to go with whatever the artwork might be. So you can see here in the Celestial Maiden, you've got some beautiful pinks in there, purples and blues and yellows across the classics and the illustrators. The value, again, though, I say this quite a lot, but I've had messages from people saying that they just bought these to stock up on the illustrators and the classics that they wanted. They weren't even too fussed about the artwork, because what you've got to consider, you've got 5 illustrators, 5 classics and your outliner in that set, and then you've got that across 3 sets. So essentially you're getting a huge bundle of pens for a really small price, regardless of the artwork that you're going to get. Way of the Samurai, again, you're getting 5 classics, you're getting 5 illustrators, and you're also getting your art liner in there as well, along with your grey line art and your black line art in there too. And then the last set that you've got is your Adventures in Colouring. Flip that around for you again. You can see the different colours that you're going to be getting in your classics and in your illustrators too. Great way for you to get to grips with our classics and illustrators. Maybe you're someone that's using the tri-blends and you want to kind of step to that next level. Maybe you just want to start learning colouring with alcohol markers. Maybe you've got kids of a certain age that you want to gift these to, who are, you know, doing maybe art at college. There's so many reasons to buy these, and at that price, to get 2 for free, you really cannot go wrong. And it'd be nice to get into these actually, because we have these a lot on shows, but not very often do we get the time to be able to actually sit down and do some colouring, and that's what we're going to do now, isn't it?
We certainly are. So I'll do you a little bit of an unboxing so you can see exactly what you're getting as part of this kit. It's exactly the same sort of idea throughout the 3 different kits. You're getting your instructions in there, you're getting your pens, and you're getting your fantastic colouring sheets. So first of all, you've got your instruction, quick start guide as we call it. You've got lots of different tips, tricks and technique as part of this fantastic little booklet here. So you've got different ideas that you can be creating using these pens and using other pens you've got in your crafty stash as well. So if you are brand new to colouring, then that's a fantastic thing to have included as part of your box there. We do, of course, have all of our pens included. So you're getting 5 of your Classics, you're getting 5 of your Illustrators. Fantastic quality. You guys at home know if you've ever used Classics or Illustrators before, the quality is fabulous. And they're both alcohol-based pens, which means you can mix and match between the two. Your Classics will play nicely with your Illustrators. And then finally, you've also got your Art Liner pen. Now, the Art Liner pen comes into effect when we bring in our colouring sheets here. Now, 6 of these are the sort of grayscale, the sort of muted designs, and 6 of them are the full black line work. If you want to, with your grey line, you can be bringing in your art liner. You can start to actually, if you want to practice your drawing, you can start to actually trace, almost like trace over those lines that you've got within the grey line work. So if you want to practice your colouring and your drawing, then your grey line work images are going to be absolutely perfect for that. If you want to, however, just use them as your grey line work without colouring them in with your art liners, and you want to have something that's going to sort of relying on the outlines a little bit less, then of course you can do that as well. That choice is yours. Now, in terms of the artwork, we have a little look through what you're getting as part of this box kit. If I grab them there, you're getting 6 of your grey line work. Same designs as your grey line work, and your black. It's just nice to have your different options between the two sort of colourways. So getting 6 of each of those, giving you 12 in total. Absolutely beautiful designs that you can see here. Really nice, strong imagery. Great for all those different colouring techniques. And then we move into our black line work, which is the same sort of design as your grey, but just a little bit more bold. And I think we will start off with this image here, because I'm loving the sort of folds on that dress, and I'm thinking we can get lots of lovely techniques into the folds. So as always, when we're colouring with our alcohol pens, we've got a piece of cardstock, just any old cardstock will do, underneath the piece that you're colouring onto, just to protect your surface and make sure that that colour doesn't bleed out on your artwork itself. So that's our black cardstock underneath. We'll start off with one of our Illustrators, those being my favourite. I'm going to go in with our cream, which is our FS6, which is the one that's been designed for the skin. So we're going to start off with a face, and it's lovely to colour with an Illustrator. It's really quite soft to lay that colour down onto our cardstock. Now, you can technically use these sheets with any pens or any different mediums you've got in your crafty stash, but just the thing to bear in mind is that they've been specifically designed in terms of the paper to be used alongside your alcohol-based pens. So if you do have other colours of your alcohol-based pens, maybe it's your tri-blends or other colourways of your Classics or Illustrators, of course you can be using those as well if you so choose. But if this is the first time you've ever used these sorts of pens, you've got everything you need contained within the kit. Just going to start by colouring the skin tones, just like so, and just starting to build up that colour. Now, it's one of those that it's going to take a little bit of time to build up all that colourway. It's not a really, really quick sort of instant fix, but it's all about getting lost in the colouring and just enjoying that process. Maybe a little bit of mindfulness on an evening. Perhaps you've got 15 minutes on an evening that you're going to spend every day just working towards building up your colouring piece. Of course, yes, George, great point, Nari. You could be doing this while you're watching Crafters TV. Absolutely. I have to say what I was doing over the weekend, given it was lovely weather, I was sat in the garden colouring.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what I did, I actually had my Ultimate Pro as my workstation, so I had that sat on my lap and I was colouring onto that. Soaking up the rays, of course. We have to make the most while it's sunny.
Nice, wasn't it, on Saturday?
It was lovely, absolutely lovely. It was warm, really warm. And I also found that my little camping chair that I have in the garden, the cup holder fits your alcohol pens perfectly.
Saw your Instagram post on that. I thought that's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, it fits them perfectly. So rather than taking my whole sort of carry case downstairs and outside even with me, I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll pop my colours that I'm using into my little cup holder. It worked a treat, I have to say. So top tip, if you're crafting outside, crafting al fresco, then it'll work a treat.
Trust you to
come up with something like that. I know. Talk about innovative, eh?
That's it.
Something like that, anyway. I think I've coloured all the skin there. I can always go back if I've missed a bit. I'm going to focus on the hair. Now, the key thing when you've got a kit like this, we don't have all the different shades within all the colours. You've got sort of one colour and one shade of those colours. So one of the things that we're going to do in order to get plenty of shade and plenty of depth into this image is by leaving those preserved highlights. And when we talk about preserved highlights, all they are is areas of that cardstock that you've not actually added any colour to. So they're going to stay white and they're going to be our highlight on that particular part of the image. So leaving those areas white going to help to bring in a little bit of light and shade, a little bit more dimension, even though we're only using one shade from this colour family. So we're just going to start flicking down and start to bring this hair to life. Now, Ben, have you started colouring?
Well, I was doing a little bit of colouring. The thing is, like you say, even if you've just got, I wouldn't worry about looking at me too much. I'll show you what I've done at the end. It's like, if you just want to enjoy these, you don't even have to worry too much about doing blending and preserving the highlights and stuff is stuff that you can come on to later on down the line, isn't it? It's just if you just want a really good set of like alcohol markers and you just want to use one colour to colour, then just do you, isn't it, really?
Absolutely, and it's a great way if you've never used alcohol pens before and you're not too confident in terms of shading or adding your preserved highlights or anything. It just allows you to sort of familiarise yourself with your alcohol pens, see how they work, how they lay down onto the cardstock. So without having to worry about adding light and shade, you can literally just lay that colour down as a block colour, and because all of that lovely detail has already been added into the line work itself, it's still going to give you a beautiful effect, and it's just going to sort of allow you to familiarise yourself with your alcohol pens. And then you can start to build from that. It's like anything, it's all about practice. It's all about sort of getting used to how the pens work, what sort of techniques you like, what sort of images you like colouring. Because at the end of the day, we all have different preferences. We all have things that we sort of prefer colouring. You might prefer landscapes, it might be portraits like this. You know, we've all got our own individual styles, I suppose.
That's it. I think these are a nice little taster as well, aren't they? As I said earlier, for people perhaps, maybe you've mastered the whole tri-blend thing and you want to take that next step, and I know it's not technically like you go, oh, tri-blends, classics, illustrators, but a lot of people do start off with the tri-blends, don't they, and then build towards maybe using things like the classics and the illustrators. Absolutely,
I think tri-blends are sort of what we'd hail as the perfect one for your beginners. So if you are brand new to crafting, if one of the things about colouring that puts you off is the colour matching, it's the shade, and it's how do I know which pens to pair together for a blend. If that's what puts you off about colouring, then tri-blends are an absolutely fantastic sort of beginner way into colouring. So all that thinking's kind of taken out for you. But perhaps if you're anything like me, I started off with classiques, because when I first started colouring, tri-blends were not born yet. You know, they didn't exist.
Not born?
They weren't born. They hadn't been burst into the world just yet. So yeah, I suppose it just depends. Whatever you start off with, there's not a wrong or a right place to start. It's just all about building up those techniques, building up your expertise, and just building up your confidence. And kits like this are perfect because you've got literally everything you need in order to get started and get creating something really quite lovely. So we shall. Oh, I have. Thank you, Sam, in my ear. That's why you're there. I have missed the right arm. There you go. Let's go back to our skin tone. We can always go back.
What?
Missed half her arm.
Oh.
I've coloured her hand, I've just missed her arm. I don't know where I thought her arm had got to there, but there we go. We'll just go in and colour this. Now, my favourite of all the pens does tend to be the Illustrator, so I'm sort of going to those rather than the classics at the moment.
I'll say it again. I mean, I'm not nowhere near as, you know, I like to do a little bit of colouring now and again, but as far as an experience is concerned with a pen, if you've never tried the Illustrators, I cannot recommend them highly enough, because the brush nib, Lily, I've described it as it's like colouring with a feather.
It is.
It's such a great experience.
Soft. It is, honestly, it is so soft, it's incredible. And that's what allows you to get, all those lovely flicking techniques that we love to do, like with the hair, with the fur, if you're colouring in animals, if you're creating grass on your scenes. It's like buttery soft.
Yeah.
It's just so gentle on the cardstock. If that, it probably sounds a bit daft if you've never tried them before, but we think of pens as usually quite harsh, quite sort of scratchy, and it's literally the complete and utter opposite of that. It's just so gentle onto the cardstock. It feels almost like you're not even touching the cardstock at all. They are absolutely gorgeous to colour with. Got to be my all-time favourites, I have to say.
And when you're colouring these, because you just mentioned then, when you're colouring like a one pen blend, so I've got like the linen here. So if you do want to add like a little bit of like darkness in certain areas, you're just going back into that area with the pen, aren't you? Just adding more alcohol, right?
Yeah, so alcohol ink is translucent. So if you do layer the colour over using the same pen, it will darken to a certain extent. Not as much as like your water-based pens, they'll darken a lot more than an alcohol-based, but to a certain extent, they will darken.
Yeah.
I've just realised I've missed a bit of the hair as well. Dear oh dear, let's go back to the brown while we're here. Colour that bit of the hair in.
And I would say just enjoy this. I know a lot of people panic about colouring, don't they, for whatever reason. I don't think it's a thing that you should be. If you're doing it and you're panicking, I feel like you're doing something wrong.
You're doing it wrong, absolutely, yeah. For me, colouring is just one of those things I just absolutely love it. Honestly, I could stand here for the rest of the show, and we were joking about this beforehand.
Let's do it!
Let's do it. I could stand here for 2 hours. I could stand here the whole day.
Yeah.
And I'd lose all concept of time. Hours and hours would go by, and I'd think it's only minutes. But for me, it's just something I get totally and utterly lost in. And it's almost like a bonus that you end up with something that looks lovely at the end of it. Because that's almost not really the point, I suppose. For me, it's just the point that is that I love absolutely love doing it, whether it's stamped images, whether it's die cuts, whether it's kits like this. I just love colouring. There's just something so mindful about it. It really is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and as I say, this deal is just absolutely incredible today to get a bit of a go, a bit of a play with all of the different pens within the particular collection. When do you personally tend to sort of switch between like Classic and Illustrator?
Oh, good question. So for me, any sort of time that I'm doing that flicking technique, so for hair, for fur, for grass, I'll always go for my illustrators, just so I've got that lovely brush nib. However, let's bring in one of the Classics. Whenever I want to do something that's a little bit more detailed, and I want to get into that really, really fine detail, your Classic bullet nib is super, super fine. So you can get into all those intricate details. So let's focus on this part of a staff here, where we've got all those tiny details on those stars, on that moon. And you can see by using your Classic, you can get into all those incredible details. So anytime that if you want more of a firm nib, if that sort of makes sense, if you need that firmness of nib and you don't want it to be flexible, you want to be able to get into all those nooks and crannies, then for me, your Classics are the one to go for.
Any questions? Let me have a look. I'm getting engrossed in this colouring here. I think we are all...
Could have had some more limericks. Have we had any more limericks?
I've had a few.
A few?
I've had one. Oh, by the way, Doreen gave me a 10 plus. She said, she said a 10 plus, although you did sound a bit Norwegian.
Oh.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Could be worse.
Hillary says, there was a young man named Ben. That's another one. I think
my name... not another one, Hillary.
My name's easy to rhyme with.
Well,
there was a young man named Ben. His presenting was 10 out of 10.
Oh, here we go again.
He had a cute collie whose name, it was Molly, who brought him toys again and again. Yes! Oh. I love that.
So even your dog's got more limericks than I have. Blooming heck. Tell my place in the world, can't you?
Oh.
Yes, indeed. Getting lots of 10 out of 10s, aren't you, today?
Well, I know.
See if your colouring's 10 out of 10, won't we?
Well, it won't be. 5 out of 10.
At best.
At best, yeah.
I was thinking more -5, but hey.
Oh, that's not very friendly.
I've not even seen it yet, to be fair, so it might be a 10 out of 10.
It probably won't be. I'm just wondering what colour to do the hair of my guy, because there's not really like a brown colour in there, but although one of the guys here has got like green hair.
Why not?
We'll give him some green hair, shall we?
Why not?
Come on. What is
my
this?
lady has got a pink crown, so why on earth not?
You've got pink what?
Pink crown. Her crown's in pink.
We'll go with green hair. Why not?
Why not? It's a Monday after all.
It is a Monday.
Brighten up our Monday.
That's it.
Green hair. And now I can't work out if that's part of a back or if that's part of a dress. Do you think that's part of a dress? I think it is.
Yeah, you got a limerick.
Oh, did I?
You've got one, yeah.
Wow.
Do you want me to read it?
I've moved up in the world, haven't I?
You have. Do you want it?
Go on. It best not be insulting, otherwise I won't be coming back at 5 o'clock. You'll be doing the show on your own, George, in the gallery. There'll be nobody sat in the studio.
It is. There once was a girl named Lily who said things that were rather silly. She crafts with great shine, adding to the stash of mine. Her talents are not willy-nilly.
Oh,
that's from Cindy
good.
Condy.
Cindy, love it, thank you. Finally, I've not been forgotten.
Yeah, see?
It was good.
Yeah.
We like that. Like that indeed. We're being told that we have to finish off, although we could spend the rest of the show doing this. Quite frankly, it's kept us both quiet, isn't it? So if anybody needs to keep us quiet at any point, just like I tried to do to George a few weeks ago, I tried to give him a colouring book to shut him up. It didn't work.
No.
Unsurprisingly.
It's hard to shut up.
Yes, it's true. It's looking good. I mean, we've not spent an awful lot of time on this, but it is starting to sort of come to life, isn't it? Definitely be taking this one home with me. This won't be going back in the kit. I'll be finishing this off at home, I think.
Take this one home with me, actually.
Ben's in the zone.
Yeah, I am. I should really be talking, shouldn't I? Because that's sort of
all I heard was
my job, really.
Well,
I have half written you a limerick as well, which I'll finish in the break, and I'll do the when we come back in just a few moments' time.
Oh.
But yeah, just grab these today, right? Just give them a go, get them home, have a play. And I think, Lily, as well, you know, we've said more than anything, if you've got Classics and Illustrators, it's just a good way to add to the stash, isn't it? Because irrelevant of whether you like the artwork or not,
Do you know
for
what
that price?
Yeah, the best way that I think of these as a crafter is I think of it's an opportunity to restock your classics and your illustrators or start using them for the first time. And I just think of all the sheets that you get, and all 12 sheets in each and every single one of the kits. I think of them as great practice sheets. I wouldn't worry about making them for cards or making them to show friends and family. All I think of them as is your practice sheets. It's a perfect opportunity to like practice your skin, to practice your hair, your folds, your drapes, all those different sort of techniques. Perhaps you've already done the Academy of Colour and just want that opportunity to actually practice some more of those techniques that you've learned in the past. Then this is going to be the perfect opportunity. You're getting 12 sheets in every single one of the kits. It's a great opportunity. It's a great sort of practice opportunity. If you want to practice those techniques without the pressure of feeling like you need to make it into a finished card or it needs to be a home decor piece, these can just be for you. These can just be the bits that you practice on an evening just to make sure that you're sort of mastering all those techniques. It's going to be the perfect way to restock those pens and have a little bit of a practice. I want to see yours, but I've not seen it yet.
Well, I've not really done very much. I've just coloured in green air. Green. Oh.
Oh. Oh, it looks good.
And just done his hand down there as well. Look.
Oh, there's the hand.
There's plenty to do.
Looks good.
I was just a bit put off by the fact that he didn't have. There's no like real brown in there, but I quite like the green hair. I'm tempted to kind of keep doing that for the rest of the show, but I won't because otherwise I won't end up talking.
If you don't talk at all for the rest of the show, we'll know why.
Lily, you could never be forgotten, says Colleen.
Oh, thank you.
And Hilary says, sorry I didn't write you one, Lily, it's just because Ben rhymes with 10. That's the only reason I get so many 10s, isn't it? Because my name is
of course.
Ben
It's only because of the rhyme, isn't it? I'll forgive you, Hilary. I might not forgive Ben, but I'll forgive you.
Thank goodness my surname isn't Nero, because you'd probably go, there was a young man called Ben Nero whose presenting skills were a big fat 0. So thankfully, Ben 10. That looks like a picture to colour in, says Sensational Sky. And Cindy says, come on, Ben, I've sent one for Lily. Oh, yeah, I've just read it. I just did it. So thank you. Keep them coming in, your limericks. Don't forget, if you want to get this deal, $23.99, $31.99 platinum price on that. Also, 65% saving across those 3 on the show. Also, just a little mini deal for you on our glue dots and low tack tape. 2 lots of the glue dots, 2 lots of the low tack tape included. Is that right? Actually, it says 2 on the screen, so is that 2 of each, or is it... I think it's just 1 of each.
Hold the line caller.
I think it's 1 of each.
There's 2 different packs of 2. So there's a glue dots 2 pack and then a 2 pack of your low tack tape.
So you get 2, you do get 2 of each. So it's 4.
No, they're two
glue dots
different
are on
bundles.
their own. Oh, well, that's where you've all confused me.
Oh so my gosh.
Still in colouring mood. 2 lots of the glue dots, £3.20 if you're a platinum member, £8.80. Where do you use these, Lee? Because I feel like glue dots have just like crept back into our crafty stash, and I feel like we've not had them on for like years.
Yeah, I was quite surprised we saw these on the shelf. They are a really useful adhesive to have in your crafty stash. They're great for all those little small embellishments. I know a lot of people use these on the back of ribbon bows. Obviously, we showed you on the earlier show how to make your bows using your Ultimate Pro, so they're great on the back of your bows. They're great for small embellishments. Anywhere where you need a nice little bit of adhesive that's not 3D, think of it of a little bit like a foam pad, but a flat foam pad.
So could you potentially, if you wanted like little circles with like gilding flakes on and stuff, you could use them for that, yeah?
Yeah, do you know what, that'd be lovely actually, a little dotty board with your gilding flakes or your pearl powders.
Yeah. Well, you're getting 2 in that pack for that price of $3.20, and then you're getting 2 of your low tack tapes as well, but actually you get 3 rolls in each, so it's actually 6 rolls of your low tack tape. Really handy for using with things like your stencils, for example, when you want to make sure those are in place when you're doing all of your mixed media. Great for taping down your dies as well. And if you're anyone like Lily, this set of 2 here will probably last you about 30 years. Because you tend to reuse.
Did you hear about the whole hoo-ha with Craig the other week?
I think I did.
So I'd put, as I always do, I'd put some of the low tack tape on the side of the machine. Then I got him involved, got him trying to help me with crafting, and he was disgusted that there was all low tack tape on the machine. I said, well, what else am I going to do with the low tack tape? Waste it? I don't think so.
$6.38 or $8.90 for 6 rolls. Which is a brilliant value for money deal. Everything is there for you on the Shop the Day, Shop the Show, so do check it out. We'll read some more of your limericks very shortly, National Limerick Day today, and when we come back, we will have a look at creator card dies, I think, of a patchwork variety. We'll see you in a moment.
My favourite part is the interaction we can have with the lovely presenters.
The laughter and the giggles and the dressing up and the jokes.
Really fun and really good, and sometimes the only laugh you will get when you're not feeling well.
There's a personal connection with the presenters and the demonstrators.
The inspiration and clear instruction is patiently presented.
I love everyone that I have come to know on Crafters TV.
Well, you got two comedians, Dan and Craig. They're not comedians really, they're brilliant.
Presenters are great. Demonstrators are great.
Number one is the enjoyment I get from watching Ben and all of the demonstrators making the projects.
You are all so down to earth and genuine people, always willing to share and help.
Personal connection with everyone that's involved in Crafters TV.
For me, they have become my friend, creating a personal connection and making you feel part of a crafting family.
And get me a chuckle. It just feels like you're right there in my living room.
There once was a man who was very crafty. His name was Craig from Carnoustie. He joined the team on Crafters TV. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He wanted to prove he was the man, but he lost at craft was to Leanne. But 2 weeks later he beat Jan. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He did so well on Crafters TV, Sarah sent him off to Germany, where he did some work for QVC. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. His crafting skills, they aren't half bad. In fact, I'd say they're totally rad. That's mainly down to his favourite foam pads. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. The crafters, they loved him a lottie for his charm and skill. They went quite potty, they nicknamed him the Hardy Scotty. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. In the crafting world, he's standing tall. He's the best Scottish crafter of them all. Catch him Monday to Friday on his wake-up call. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live.
Why do I love Crafters Companion? Well, you got two comedians, Dan and Craig. They're not comedians really, they're brilliant. When they do their shows, they're so comical when it comes down to wrestling. I know I took the mick out of Craig with his watch. Said it must have come from a Christmas cracker, but I like his watch. I think it's brilliant. Anyway, I've had to get myself off the floor. I had to use my Burnham Hoover to suck me up off the floor, and I had to use my foam on a roll to keep me secured up so I don't fall over again, because I'm still in shock, because we know Platinum Plus for life, so I'm Plat Plus. Speak soon.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community.
Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world.
It also connects you with people from all over the world.
You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family. I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends.
I met some of my best friends for life from Crafters TV, so thank you very much.
When you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion, ideas, and get inspiration from each other.
So what's not to love about Crafters TV? So go make a coffee and pull up a chair. Let's all get crafting. I'll see you all there.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thanks for all of the interaction as well. Jen Shank, limericks are not my thing. Watching Crafters TV has a lot of bling. Crafting along day by day on my way to Craft by the Bay. My love for Crafters TV will never be a fling.
Love it.
I
That's
like
a good one.
Cindy Connie says, I've actually used glue dots to repair a tear in my dress.
Wow. They are strong then. We can vouch for that.
And I do the same, says Colleen Lilly. Low-tack tape on the side of my Gemini so I can reuse it again.
Glad it's not just me. Craig must be in the minority in this one then, because my machine is always covered in low-tack tape.
And then 3 more limericks, one that I've done, and then 2 more. Valerie says, there once was a lady called Lily who works with that Ben who is silly.
True.
She's doing the craft while he's acting daft, but together they make great entertainment.
Love it. That is a good one. You got in on the action a little bit as well there,
Yeah.
so it's not just me, it's both of us. We like that.
Rhonda says, there once was a girl named Lily who didn't know how to make chili.
Oh,
But her
true.
crafting was fab, had a great gift of the gab, and sometimes could be quite silly. Yeah, because you can be silly.
True. That's
well.
true. And I also don't know how to make chili.
Oh,
It's all
is
true.
that
It's all
right?
facts. I've never made chili, no.
Is that, how did Rhonda know that then, or was that just a...
I don't know. Just
you
guessed. I don't look like a chili eater, clearly. Who knew?
Just wondered whether you mentioned it on air or not.
No, I don't think so.
And I've gone for, with me today is Lilly Fletcher. She's more of a colourist than a sketcher. At crafting she's brill, to watch her is a thrill, and she makes great cards, you betcha.
10 out of 10.
I had to go with your surname,
Yeah.
really, because, you know, Lily, silly,
Well,
Billy.
other words, you know.
other words. Keep them coming though, we like those, we're having fun with this. Patchwork Create card dies next. We've got 6 of these within this bundle. Have you got finished samples over there? So I've only got the
I
board.
do, yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
excellent. Well, I'll show you the boards, it's fine.
I'll show you the samples. Don't you worry.
No, exactly. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. These are fantastic because if you love your creator cards, they are going to, in one pass, cut you a beautiful frame that you can then use the other dies with it to create that patchwork effect. So whether you are using papers from a particular collection, love the idea when we launched these, people talking about using photos potentially in a really creative way. There's a lot of fun and a lot more craftability with these than potentially your generic creator card dies. So within the set, you have got this beautiful warm sunbeam. You have got this one, which is the morning sunrise. That's a really cute one as well because you've got the ability here with that little tablets cut to be able to stamp your sentiments should you wish. This one was the one that Lily showed you at the start of the show, I think, with the shining star. Lovely to use with your Christmas collections. I think that could equally be for potentially like, you know, you are a star or maybe like a birthday star, but I think that would work so nicely with Christmas collections as well. Then you've got the rays of light. I mean, again, absolutely beautiful. There was, and I don't know if it's still in the box, a shaker made with this as well. No, so I don't think we've got it anymore, but you've got the opportunity to be able to do that with these. You've then got this beautiful geometric. That's one I would say that you could potentially have in multiple different ways, but a really kind of interesting way to make a project. That one might work really nicely, as I say, with like photos that a lot of people have said they've used the Patchwork Creator card dies on. And then lastly, obviously you're going to team this up with things like your Beautiful collection, also the honeysuckle collection. It is the sweet honeycomb, and you're getting that in the bundle, all 6 in that set for $31.18. If you're platinum again today, it is a huge discount, much better than half price, normally $77.94 or $89.70. Let's have a look at some finished samples with Lily.
This collection is fabulous. It's one of those that's going to work with so many different other items you've got in your crafty stash. Whether it's going to be your ink pads, whether it's going to be other collections, all those lovely papers and cardstock that we all hoard, going to work perfectly with all of those. So you can see there using that gorgeous morning sunrise alongside some of your inks. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Talking of inks, how about bringing in your opaque pigment inks and actually heat embossing using your pigment inks to create those beautiful rays of sunlight on the background there.
Wow.
Looks absolutely incredible. Just a slightly different technique using these incredible dies. And then next up, how about bringing in some of of your large numbers. These are actually our shaker numbers that we've used in the centre there, alongside some of our pearl ombre paper pads as well, to create that really quite striking design. How about cutting into them as well? You don't always have to use them in their full size. You don't have to use that complete die in its entirety. You can actually chop into them to create smaller cards, little square cards like that one as well. And we were talking about how you can use these for all year round. How about creating shaker cards for Christmas as well? Looks absolutely incredible by using that lovely starburst design. So that's just a little bit of inspiration as to some of the sorts of things you can create using these fabulous designs. But we're going to go in with our warm sunbeam for this particular card that we'll create. So we'll move those out of the way. And we'll bring in our card base. Now all I've done here is I've taken a piece of our pale blue cardstock and I've cut it down, so I've created a card base that's measuring 6.5 by 5 1/4. Now we're going to bring in our dies. So if I take this set of dies, what I'm going to take to start off with is I'm just going to take that inner die there, that inner detail. Now if we use this without that outer cutting die, then that's just going to cut that lovely detail into our cardstock rather than removing it as a full panel. So we'll take that inner die. We'll grab a bit of low tack tape just to make sure we're taping this into position so it doesn't move as it goes through that machine. And what we want to do is, because we're going to be keeping all this card around the outside, we want to aim to tape onto the waist, which is going to be all this detail in the centre. So line that up in the middle of our card. And what we've done ahead of time is we've actually taken that outer die to die cut a frame from some of our pattern paper, using the Celebrate the Good Times pattern paper. And if we just line that up in the centre of our card, just manoeuvre that around, then it allows us to get that perfect placement of our detail on the inside of that. So once I'm happy with where that's lined up, we'll just pop some low tack tape onto the left and the right hand sides of our die, and that's going to be die cut through the die cutting machine. So we can remove that frame now that we've used it for sort of placement purposes, and that should be ready to run through our die cutting machine. Now with these being detailed thin metal dies, you're going to go in with that cutting plate to start with, and then you'll grab your frosted shim, then it's your magnetic shim, and then finally your other cutting plate onto the top there, and that'll be your thin metal die sandwich for these particular dies. And we'll just run that through, and then that'll cut that design into the front of our cardstock on our card base here. That cracking noise is just the noise of sort of those dies crunching through the cardstock, so completely normal noise to hear when we are die cutting. Oh, I've got a piece of die cut on my plates there, never mind. There we go. So you can see if we remove that from the die there, you've got that lovely detailed design. If I place a piece of card behind, you can see a little bit better that lovely detail onto there. Now I'm just going to remove the tape from my dies, and then we can start to build this card together. So move all of this out of the way, and then we'll start to put the card together. So take our low tack tape, as always, saving my low tack tape from the die. So this is most certainly going on the edge of the machine there. And then we're going to start to build this together. So on the inside of our card base, we're going to have this piece of this lovely sort of salmony coloured cardstock. By taking the pattern paper, I've just picked out one of the colours that we've got on our pattern paper there. So that lovely sort of peachy, corally colour is where I've got this lovely colour from. And this is just going to sit inside my card base, just to add that nice bit of contrast against that blue colour tone of the card base itself. So we just open up our card base and just centralise that inside the middle of the card, just like so. That's going to give us that lovely colour showing through on the outside there. Now we're also going to add our frame that we've die cut. That's going to go on the outside there. So we're bringing our tape pen, and we'll just pop some of our tape onto the reverse all around the edge of this die cut frame. Now all I did for this one is I stick together a piece of the pattern paper with the coloured cardstock, and then I just trim the edges down to size so it's ever so slightly smaller than our card base, and then I just use that inner die to actually cut out the centre, so we've got that lovely aperture in the centre there that's then going to go onto our card base. So we'll line that up. If you are not as confident with lining things up sort of straight and even first time round, they can always go in with something like a wet glue, just to make sure you've got that time to manoeuvre. That's our card starting to build together.
Nice.
At this point, we'll leave that to one side for a moment, and we'll bring back in our set of dies here. So I'm going to grab all the little sort of detail dies. I'm going to take all those out of the way. Unfortunately, they're at the bottom of the packet, so I will just pour all of those out, and hopefully we've got all of those there. No, a couple more still.
But that's the joy of this set, isn't it? You don't even have to use that next set of dies if you don't want to, do you?
Of course not. Absolutely, you could leave that as it is, and it's going to look absolutely gorgeous as is without those detailed dies. But for this instance, we will bring in our detailed dies. I've stuck the sentiment to there. There we go. We'll remove that, and then we're just going to grab our cutting plate. So I'll place my paper onto there, and we're just going to take all of our detailed dies, all of our little sort of pieces to the jigsaw, if you like, and we're just going to line those up all over my piece of pattern paper here. Now, if you've got a paper that's sort of really directional in terms of the design, so for example, if you're using an ombre paper and you want the ombre to sort of be seen, then I would make sure that I've got all of the dies in the correct order, if that makes sense. So in the order that they are on the outer die, which you can use the outer die itself to help you actually line up those pieces. So I'll be grabbing my outer die and just line up all those inner pieces within there. However, because it's quite a ditzy sort of all over pattern, and I'm not going to worry too much about getting those all lined up in a certain arrangement. I'm going to fingers crossed as we run this through, hopefully they won't move as they go through that machine. I definitely recommend at home when you've got a little bit more time to tape those all into position, but I'm being very gentle, very careful as I move this in. We'll soon find out, won't we? Hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll all cut without moving as they go through.
It'll be fine.
I hope. We'll soon see. So we'll run that through and then we're going to start to paper piece these back into the design. So, moment of truth. Let's find out. Woo! I think we're all right, aren't we? Yes! Phew, thank goodness for that. I mean, you have little faith, Lily. There we go. I mean, you could be using that, actually. That's a really cool, like, abstract piece, that, isn't it? It's like modern art. That's quite cool. Yeah. Might save that for something else, actually. Or you could use it as well as a stencil. So a couple of different options with your waste. After all, we never like true waste at all in our crafting. We like to try and make use of everything that we possibly can. So we'll just go ahead and we'll just go around popping out all of our little pieces out of our die cut. So we've got all those extra little pieces that we can paper piece back into that framework. So it's a lovely sort of combination. It's very much like a jigsaw with these. You've got that outer frame, then you've got the pieces that you can all sort of nest inside of that lovely outer frame. So it's a really fun way of actually building your cards. So we bring back in our card base, and what we're going to do with this one is we're actually going to have the pieces on the inside of our card. So when you open it, you've got that design sort of revealed on the inside. So we'll go in with our tape pen onto the back of here. And now this is why it's crucial. If you are going to be adding acetate behind your design just to strengthen it, do make sure that you add your pieces in on the inside first before you add your acetate around the outside. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do this sort of technique that we're doing here to line them up. So we're just going to go around with all of our pieces here and just start to build this design by just making sure that card is shut, and then we can actually line our pieces up onto the inside. So it's going to be lined up perfectly when you open up that card base. And it's just a really fun process of bringing together all those elements to start to build this together. Now you could of course be using lots of different colours of your cardstock here. You could have every different piece in a different colour if you want, sort of like a rainbow effect. That would look lovely. But here just using that same paper that we've got, and it is really like a jigsaw. I love to sort of mess all the pieces up so they're not in order, and it's almost like a bit of a game, just building it back together. I just find that quite enjoyable. But of course, if you want to do things in a little bit more of a methodical manner, then by all means you can be doing that.
How come you're sometimes using wet glue and sometimes using the tape pen?
It depends on the size of the piece that I'm sticking.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, that piece was a little bit too small to actually get my tape pen behind, whereas for the larger pieces, then it's not a problem getting the tape pen into there. So, for example, for this one, I'll use a bit of the tape pen at that base there where it's a little bit wider, and then at the top there, where it's a bit more narrow. I can't quite fit the tape pen onto those more narrow aspects, so I'm just going to use my tacky glue, and that's just going to go onto there, just like so, and we can start to build that design. It's just really starting to come together. Yeah. Very, very simple design in terms of the layout, in terms of the card shape. It's just a very standard side fold card, but it really just come to life when you start to bring all these elements in. I
love the colours as well, and like great little trick again for people who do struggle with sort of colour matching. The way that you said you sort of took that salmon card and then just saw that colour within the florals as well, and then that was a nice match, wasn't it?
Absolutely. So when it comes to my card making or scrapbooking is exactly the same as well, actually. I tend to choose my pattern papers first, and then I'll pick almost like an accent colour out of that paper that I want to almost like emphasise or highlight when it comes to the mats and layers. So I chose that lovely pattern paper first, which is from our Celebrate the Good Times 6x6 pad, and then I just went in, picked out that lovely sort of salmony peach sort of colour, and that I'm using that for my mats and layers. So it just starts to make everything tie together nicely. Just a couple more pieces and we have finished our paper piecing. And it's going to look lovely from the outside and lovely from the inside as well, just to finish things off and give you that lovely professional finish. So that one's going to go onto that left-hand side. And then finally, we've got that one onto that top right-hand side. So grab our tape pen and that will just sit into there. Now, if you're a little bit more sort of conscious of getting things lined up perfectly, definitely use your tacky glue for all of it rather than your tape pen, because it is sort of an instant stick with your tape pen. So just going to turn that over, give that a nice little burnish just to make sure it's nicely stuck down. And then to finish this off, what we'll do is we'll grab a piece of our acetate just to make sure this is reinforced a little bit more. With that being quite a delicate die cut on there, by adding a piece of acetate on the reverse, it's just going to help to strengthen our card itself. So we'll go in with our tape pen all around the edges of this aperture here, and we've cut our acetate to ever so slightly larger than that aperture, so we've got a little bit of space around the edge to stick it down. And then we'll just pop that into position, give that a nice old burnish just to get all that glue to sort of cling to our acetate. And then just to finish it off, we've got one of our sentiments. I've not asked Debbie Robinson's permission for this one, so I hope she's all right with it. I promise you I didn't steal the die from Debbie, but I thought, you know what, if she uses the die so much, then so can I. It's a fabulous die. Our little with love, or any sentiment, stamped or otherwise, will be perfect for the centre of there. But just a very simple design using those fantastic Patchwork Create card. Show you a little bit of almost like an outside inside style of card. Love these dies, and they are so versatile.
There you go, all 6 of those in that bundle for just $31.18 or $35.86 if you're a Platinum member. What about making this front of this die design onto a shadow box and put lights in it, says Colleen.
Oh wow.
That would look awesome, wouldn't it?
That would look super cool, love that idea.
I have this whole set, says Lois, and it is so cool. And Colin also saying this would be fun with it being a shaker card and have different coloured gems in each window. Yeah,
yes.
That's what you've got the potential to do, isn't it? With your foam on a roll, you know, you can section off each of the little segments and then have the different colour or different types of shakers within each of those segments there. Really, really cool. Monday Mega Deals for you, just to quickly recap on those again, because these are obviously only available up until midnight tonight. Your Gilding Flakes, luxury Gilding Flakes. I mean, what a deal this is. If you are someone who loves Gilding Flakes, you don't even need to tell me to tell you what a great deal this is. Just grab them. It's a £45, $50 bundle that you can get for an absolute steal today. £11.99. Buy one, get 2 free. And you know our Gilding Flakes are just top of the pops. They are absolutely amazing. You have got colours that you would expect to see in the likes of, you know, golds, you've got your kind of coppers in there and silvers, but we do bring you other colours as well, in, you know, things like these beautiful greens. You'll get a full pot as well, and a pot which doesn't have loads of other different flakes all over it. But these have been well loved. So that first box that you've got there is your patina, so Sunglow, Rich Copper and Verdigris. Just get these out of the packet as well so that you can see a little bit better. This one here has got beautiful pretty pink in there. You've got your soft rose and then your rose gold. So again, you know, some colours which you might not have seen before as far as Gilding Flakes are concerned, mixed up with ones that you will have seen. And then this last one, which is your Cosmic, brings you an absolutely beautiful blue, which is called Blue Moon. You've got your Starlight in there, and then that black, which is called, I think it's just, it's Outer Space. Absolutely stunning. So 9 different colours that you've got, 50ml pots, so you've got plenty to be playing with there. And that really is, if you love your mixed media, you love your Gilding Flakes, that is just a must-have buy for $11.99. But remember, that price goes back up at midnight tonight. Also, great deal on our Centura Metallics. Like I said earlier on, I feel like we brought the Centura Metallics back. It must have just come back in stock, because you see a lot of our Centura Pearl, but not necessarily the Metallics. 40 sheets of our 300 GSM cardstock here, or 310 GSM, isn't it, Centura Metallic? And you're getting 10 sheets of each of the colours here. So you've got that beautiful green gold. You've got the pale silver, 10 sheets. You have 10 sheets of the bronze in there as well. You've got that beautiful sheen from the Centura Pearl, and then 10 sheets of the copper included as well. £8 is an absolute steal. So again, as I say, if you love your cardstock, if you love your Centura Pearl, then that is a must-have buy. Only at that price though, up until midnight tonight. And then one last one quickly is the Aquablend pencils. Again, we've got a few deals for you. A different deal earlier on the portraits, but if you're, I suppose, more serious about your watercolouring and you love the Aquablend pencils, this is the deal to go for, because you are getting one of the bundles, or one of the tins, if you like, for absolutely nothing within this set, but only until midnight. So $74.97 or $89.97 becomes $39.98 platinum artist quality watercolour pencils that you've got across a array of different colours. So there's your portrait collection, 24 pencils in total here. You're also going to get your essentials as well. So lots of different colours there, you know, through your reds and your greens and your yellows and blues and purples. And then for argument's sake, you're getting the landscape for absolutely nothing within this bundle. So more of your greens in there, browns and blues. That one is your freebie within that set. But as I say, only up until midnight tonight at that price of $39.98, $47.98 in the US, but obviously tariffs apply. If you want untariff items, of course, you can go to our website, check on the tariff-free section. 206 items for you there to get in your basket and not worry about those tariffs. Remember, if you are shopping that section, it's a maximum $800 cart before you get charged, and if you do shop there and then happen to pop something in from elsewhere on the website which isn't under that blue stamp, then the tariffs will apply. So if you shop there, all should be good. We're going to take a short break, give you an opportunity to get your baskets checked out, and we'll come back to you in about 4 or 5 minutes time.
Hi, my name is Sherry Jackson, and I have been a fan of Crafter's Companion for at least 7 or 8 years now. I love Crafter's TV. I mean, what's not to love about it? They've got great products, great prices, great people that work there for them. The customer service is great. The presenters are great. Demonstrators are great. Everyone there is great. I just love all the products. I love the tutorials we get. I love all the demonstrations, the craft-alongs, the master classes. Not only do you sell the products, but you teach everyone how to use it. I love the interaction on Crafters TV. I love the fun, the game, the prizes. There's just so much about Crafters TV. There's nothing not to love about Crafters TV. You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family. I'm widowed and live alone, and every day I look forward to watching Crafters TV, whether I watch it live or whether I go back and watch the reruns. I get so much inspiration and tips and tricks from everyone there at Crafters Companion, and I love all of you, and I'm so thankful for Crafters TV.
Pokey tools and paper pads, gilding, wax and stamping mats, scissors, glitter, builder blocks, faux snow fabric, rocker blocks, Bria's misters, quilting clips, and die brush tools, precision snips, finger daubers, acetates, stencils, glue guns and templates, Gemini, Julia and the OG, Gemini Go, Mini and the MIDI, dry blend, brush pens, aqua pens and aqua blends, illustrators, classics and dry blends and color blends and glitter pens and sparkle pens, outliner pens. Fine tip glue, applicators, envelopers, creators, stamping platforms, boxer boards, the big score and scoreboard, Nina card and craft card, glitter card, matte black card, craft kits, wadding and adhesive sheets, glass mats, guillotines and pen trays, ball tool, dice and zinc trays, miter tools and binding tools and toe bags, USBs, bone folders and punches, low-tuck tape, pin brushes, stamens, mountboard, flower forming foam, outline markers, DVDs, spelled quick writing pads and CDs, gilding flakes and washi tape, tacky glue, red liner tape, craft mask, full press, sparkle pots, Centura, pearl and sticky dots, pigment, ink pads, chunky glue, body bags, all-purpose glue, embossing folders, blending tools, storage folders, much more too. Water reactive ink pads, body bags, craft magnets, year of craft and glue, stick and spray and stick away, dotty tape and split pens, acrylic paint pens, tape pens, watercolor card, rotary cutters, magazines and stamping card, ultimate Pro and the rotating design board, Ultimate Buzz Compendium, Sarah Signature Collections, and don't forget Discovery Kits. Oh, and there's foam pads, think that's it. One final thing, foam on a roll. Foam on a roll.
Hi, it's Julesy One Kenobi here with my hoodie on. I just thought I'd let you know another reason why I absolutely love Crafters TV. The laughter and the giggles and the dressing up and the jokes. But the one thing for me that absolutely made me laugh so much I cried was the birthday week Vegas dressing up, where Ben was Belvis Mesley. and I just couldn't stop laughing because of the wig. The wig just did it for me, and I just absolutely couldn't stop laughing every time it came on. And that's another reason why I just love Crafters TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. Got about half an hour left. Thank you for all the comments coming through. Beautiful card, Lily. It says, Lois, Colleen has a question.
Ooh.
Could you use that, you know the patchwork dies we've just done?
Yeah.
So could you use the dies with vellum paper? Would it cut and not shred the paper?
Yes, I think so. Because it's quite a sort of straight edge die, if that makes sense. There's not a lot of sort of intricate lacy detail to them, so I don't see any issue at all why they wouldn't. That would look lovely, I think.
Keep the comments and questions coming through. Just want to quickly remind you of the deal that we showed you about half an hour ago, the Pro Art kits. You can buy one, get two free on these. So the one that Lily was colouring with was the Celestial Maidens. So you're getting your illustrators in here, you're getting your classiques in these as well, and of course an art liner marker alongside 12 of your colouring sheets with the grey art line, the black art line. This one actually features the original art by Nicola Yao, and you've got the kind of forward in there, the instruction leaflet, if you like, to give you a bit more idea how to get the very best out of your pens. Just a great gift idea, you know, a nice way to be able to stock up on your classiques and illustrators as well, or indeed dip your toe in the water for a really small price into the different ranges of alcohol markers that we've got. You've got your classiques, your dual-ended pens with the fine nib and the chisel, and then the illustrators, of course, with your Japanese brush nib. Adventures in colour is also included within this bundle, so essentially you're getting this in the way of the Samurai Free. This has got some really nice artwork, actually. Again, I feel like you know, if we were to box these off, maybe a couple of kits for the girls and then one for the boys, you know, if you're looking for gifts for, you know, the kids or the grandkids, this one again, 5 of the classics, 5 of the illustrators, and then you've got your art liner in there as well, plus all of these fantastic designs to be able to colour in and practice on as well. You know, as Lily was saying, great little practice sheet within these sets. And then you've also got the Way of the Samurai as well, once again, with all of the colours, not new colours within these kits, as I say, just the colours configured for the different artwork that you're going to be colouring in within these collections. So 5 illustrators once again, 5 of the different classics. You can just see again some of the artwork that you're going to be getting off this collection, and you're getting your art liner in there as well. $23.99 platinum price there, $31.99 if you're shopping in the US. And don't forget, you've got the deal as well on your glue dots. So a couple of glue dots at $3.20 or $8.80. You're getting that twice over, 300 of those on each roll. And then you've also got your low tack tape on the show as well. 3 rolls within each of the bundles, actually. So you're getting 6 rolls in total. As we said a little bit earlier on, this will last you a long time. Price coming up for you just here. There it is, $6.38 or $8.90 for your low tack tape. Right, one final demo to bring to you. It is with our ColourBloom Duet Inkpads. These are incredible. These are like magic. I'm sure if you've been watching us for a time, you will have seen these before. You may already have these in your crafty armory. If you haven't, maybe is the day that you pick them up. If you have already got them, then maybe you want to add more to your collection. We've given a few of these away in goodie bags recently. So again, it may well be that you've tried these out and loved them, and now you're thinking to go for the whole collection. These are fantastic reactive hybrid water-based ink pads that are going to allow you to create these kind of effects, because you lay the first colour down, dry that first layer, and then you can start adding your water, whether you, you know, we're going to spritz with these, whether you're going to flick the water onto your different projects to draw out that colour, and this is the kind of effect that you can achieve across the 12 colours. They come in that teardrop shape for you, again, to that sort of style that we're getting used to as far as our ink pads are concerned, so you can take it straight into your cardstock. If you've got those more sort of difficult to reach areas, you've got that teardrop design to these, and the 12 colours across the range that you're seeing on the board here. So pomegranate, pink grapefruit, pumpkin patch, you've got your summer bouquet, also in there Willow River, you've got shoal, anemone, nebula, you've got that hellebore, stargazer, dust orchid,
rose cloud.
Rose cloud, thank you. So your eyesight's better than mine. So yes, all 12 included in that bundle for that price is £40 or $52. But keep those questions coming in. Anything you want to know about the Duet ColourBloom Inkpads, ask now, because we are going to get into a demo with these and have a look at them with Lily.
We're going to use these fantastic ColourBloom Inkpads alongside some of our masks. So for this one, we're going to use our Exquisite Rose mask set here, which is this beautiful, really detailed design. We're going to use that alongside our Duet ColourBloom Inkpads for a nice, simple technique, but just to show you sort of how these lovely Inkpads work in action. So we've got a piece of our watercolour cardstock. Now, every time that you are working with these Inkpads and you're adding water, then watercolour card is definitely the one to go for. It's going to give you the best results with these Inkpads. We've just sprayed the back of our mask nice and lightly using our Stick and Spray repositionable adhesive. Now, this is crucial when you've got a stencil or a mask that's as intricate as this one, just to make sure that none of those delicate areas of the mask are going to sort of lift up as we start to add our ink. So we've got that on the reverse. We're just going to place it on the centre of our watercolour card and just make sure that's nicely secured onto our cardstock. At this point, we'll bring in one of our Duet Inkpads, which is our Dusk Orchid Colour Bloom. Absolutely beautiful colourway with this one. It's going to go down more of a bluey, sort of purpley colour, and it will the colours will change ever so slightly as we start to add our water. So we've got one of our blending tools here, just our square blending tool. We're just going to pick up some of that ink onto our blending tool, and we're going to start to lay down that ink onto our cardstock. Now, it's always a lot easier and a lot more going to give you a better result if you start off a little bit more lightly when it comes to your ink, and then you can just start to build up that colour until you get the result that you're wanting in terms of that intensity. So just going around with our blending tool onto there. Now, this is going to be a nice sort of subtle design. We're not wanting it to be really, really bold. We're not wanting that detail to be really, really crisp. If you do want to get all that detail and get into all those nooks and crannies of the stencil, then by all means go in with your little finger daubers, and that will allow you to get into all those fine details and give you a really crisp image. But because it's going to be more of a sort of diffuse look for our background, then it's going to still give us that lovely effect by going in with one of our larger blending tools. Just going around, working in a circular motion, just to make sure we get a nice smooth lay down of colour onto our image here. I'm going to have it more intensive in terms of that colour on the centre. It will just be fading out towards the white at the edges here. Just going in and building up this colour. Now, with any of the colourways of our ColourBloom Inkpads, it's exactly the same in that the more colour, the more intense that colour, the more ink you add to your cardstock, the more striking that bloom is going to be when you add the water. If you're very subtle in terms of the colour that you're adding, if you've only added a slight amount of ink onto your cardstock, then you can get quite a simple and subtle sort of effect with your colour bloom. So if you want that real striking colour bloom effect where those colours split, then by all means go in with plenty of ink to make sure it's going to give you that really striking effect. So we've laid down our ink onto that like so. At this point, we're going to leave our mask actually in position. If you want a really diffused effect, then you'd remove your mask first, but we're actually going to leave our mask in position. And I'm just going to grab my heat tool and just sort of heat this to heat set it. And this is going to give you the best result in terms of colour separation. Yeah. So just going around with our heat tool, and as you can see, it starts to sort of roll up a little bit. We're just going to turn that over, and that will help to flatten out that cardstock, and that should be nicely set, ready for us to add the water. Leaving that stencil in position, and all we're going to do is we're going to grab our pot of water. You can, of course, use your spritzer, but we want larger droplets of water. So we're just going to grab our paintbrush here, and we're literally just going to flick at our piece of cardstock using plenty of water here. So I'm picking up plenty from that water tub here, and we're just flicking that onto our cardstock. You can actually see some of the areas that are already starting to bloom there, where it's going more of a sort of a pale bluey colour where it's starting to bloom. And if you want larger droplets, you can always just sort of just dot that onto your cardstock. Yeah. To get you those nice large droplets of water. If you want that nice fine spray mix, by all means going in with your little mister bottles will allow you to get all those fine little water droplets. So you can see that's already starting to bloom, especially in that area in the centre where we've got that large petal. You can sort of see on there it's already started to bloom. So I'll move my water pot out of the way, and all we do at this point, very similar to what we do with our water reactive ink pads, we're just going to grab a piece of kitchen towel and we're just going to smother our artwork just like so, just to pick up all that colour. And we take that away, you can start to see all that colour bloom effect. Now it will be more prominent once we remove that stencil or that mask, but we'll just make sure that's nice and dry so that we don't get any of that colour bleed under the mask when we remove it. And then it's time for the bigger reveal, so we'll just grab one side of that mask there. We'll just start to gently ease it back with it being such a delicate mask, And you can see there, that is the sort of effect you get
Brilliant.
using your mask alongside your ColourBloom Inkpads. How cool is that? You can see that real sort of colour differential there. It goes from sort of purpley to pink to blue. Absolutely love that effect. Now, in order to build this into a card, I'm going to keep it quite simple, quite a plain and simple card, allowing this artwork to do all the talking. All we've done ahead of time is we've just matted and laid similar sort of thing here onto our black cardstock. And then we've got a card base that we've cut down to about 7 3/4 by 6. We've got some panels, some mats and layers that are going to go onto there just to help frame stuff together. So we've got some of our white card that we've matted onto some of that black card. And we'll just take our tape pen going all around the edges just to adhere that onto our card base. So that's just going to go into the middle of our card base, just like so. And then we'll grab our topper here that we've just created and we'll stick that onto the card base. Once again, using our tape pen. You could, of course, use your foam tape if you want a little bit more dimension onto the reverse of that piece. That's just going to go into the centre there as our topper. And then just to finish it off, just pop some sentiments on there. I've taken some of our sentiment stamps here, this one being our simple sentiments, and I've stamped out happy birthday to you. So we'll pop that onto that top left-hand corner just to finish it off nicely, just as that finishing touch, which will frame that lovely design perfectly. It's got our happy birthday, and then we have got our to you. So there's our you, and then there's our to. We don't want it to be happy birthday you too. Doesn't sound quite right, unless you had two people who had the same birthday on the same day. You too. It could also be to you happy birthday, that would also work. We'll have that onto there, just to finish it off. Actually, I'm going to have that a little bit of a quirky angle, just to make that look a little bit more sort of rustic. There we go. Very, very simple style card here, using those fantastic ColourBloom Inkpads. Just showing you in action how they work, how you use that heat tool to heat set it first, then you add your water afterwards, and it's going to give you a super cool effect, just like that.
A brilliant demonstration, I think, to show you how to get the very best out of these ink pads. They are brilliant, and I think very important that Lily showed you there is the drying stage. Because I think a lot of people initially, when they got these home, they were just laying down the ink and then just putting the water in straight away and couldn't really kind of get the effect that Lily's just achieved there. So it is very important to do that, that drying phase. Just to show you again all the different colours that you're going to be getting as far as these are concerned. Some beautiful colours, and then when you draw out that secondary colour, and think about then, you know, like mixing and matching these up, blending different colours together and seeing what that you know, sort of secondary colour might be, or tertiary colour I suppose it might be, once you start blending more of these together to create backgrounds. But you get all 12 from within the bundle at a brilliant price today, normally $95.88, $119.40. Platinum price is £40 or $52. Obviously tariffs apply here, but look at all these fantastic colours that you're going to get, and you can see, you know, beautiful colours here which you'll be able to use alongside many of your collections. Like I always look at things like that beautiful shoal there, and the beautiful stargazer, the nebula, kind of things that you might work in with things like your Enchanted Ocean collection, but you've got some beautiful colours working across a whole host of different collections that you've got at home, from the pomegranate through to that beautiful pink grapefruit. Pumpkin patch is gorgeous. You've got your shimmer bouquet. The Willow River is beautiful, green with a sort of like hint of blue as it gets drawn out. The shoal, the anemone, again with that sort of pink which gets drawn out, similar to that sort of nebula colour, the blues and the pinks, dusk orchid with that purple coming through, the beautiful stargazer, you know, cosmic collection I'm thinking here, use these sort of colours around your projects there. You've got your hellebore, and then you've also got that beautiful rose cloud in there too. So 12 fantastic colours, 24 fantastic colours really, isn't it? But then, as I say, once you start mixing and matching those up, how many could you be actually creating? Thanks to Carol, who says, so simple and pretty. Thank you, Lily. Pat joins us saying, sounds like it's perfect timing to see Lily using the Duet Inkpads, yet you can always go back and watch that full demo if you did miss it. Said, I need to play around with these a little bit more. And Doreen says, thank you to Lily and Ben. I watched the last part later on. I have to go and cook now for my mum and myself. Thank you, everyone. We've really enjoyed that show, and particularly enjoyed the limericks, and at least you got a few limericks in the end, Lily, as well.
I did. About time as well.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I told you, about time.
And if you think he won't answer your questions, I will.
Whoa! Yes, don't forget, loads on the website for you. You know, you're back, aren't you, in
an hour and 22 minutes.
For Crafty Stash.
Crafty Stash, and I'm very excited about this one because I have This rarely happens. I've been allowed to pick the theme myself.
Whoa.
Paper flowers. What else? So we're going to be doing paper flowers in terms of your quilling flowers, our decoupage, our shaping flowers. We're going to be doing absolutely all sorts. And one that I know a lot of you guys at home have been asking for time and time again, our layered die-cut florals, the rose design. I'll be showing you how to do that one.
Excellent stuff. It will be one to absolutely tune in for. Gorgeous bright colours, says Jill, within these. So simple and pretty, that last project, says Carol. Yeah, so make sure you join Lily a little bit later on. Also, make sure you get over onto the website as well. There is loads there for you. Of course, been a lot of chat recently about our digital downloads. So many to sift through. And if you've not been onto that page recently on the website, we've added some new collections as far as those papers are concerned. So if you've not been on, say, in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, just do go and have a look, because there may be some collections which you haven't yet seen. And again, just to reiterate for our US viewers, there is that section that we popped on the website for you where you can get all of your tariff-free items, over 200 items for you there. So it is worth having a good look through. And remember, if you do shop that section of the website, you can shop up to the value of $800 without the tariffs creeping in. Just to sort of warn you, if you do shop elsewhere on the website though and pop in items which aren't of that tariff free, you will then still get those tariffs building up for you at checkout. So have a good look. We've made it nice and easy for you, hopefully, on the website. But a massive thank you to Lily. She'll catch you back here at 5 o'clock. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.